Many thanks for staying with us here on News Today to our very first story. And by close of day today, commuters will know exactly how much more they will have to spend on transport as officials of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union and the Transport Ministry meet over the issue. Now, this follows the coming into force of the Energy Levy Bill recently passed by Parliament, which has seen petroleum prices go up by as much as 27%. But while we wait for the outcome of that particular meeting, my colleague Latif Idris has been out getting the views of some fuel pump operators and commercial drivers on the issue.
It is New Year, and the felicitation is Happy New Year. But I'm sure you're not happy with the latest increments in petroleum products. Increment takes effect today, Monday. It has been increased between 17 to 28%. Most of the fuel stations have already increased their products to come level with the increments that has been effected. I'm here at one such fuel station, that is Sky Fuel Station at Circle, to gauge the mood of the operators, drivers and passengers as far as this increment is concerned. So come with me, let's speak to one of the managers of the fuel station here at Circle to find out how he came about with the new price that is being charged here, and how drivers and passengers are also taking the heat. You're welcome to join us, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Have you increased your prices as far as the products you have here are concerned?
Of course. We increased it this morning.
How did you come about the new prices?
Well, we are sellers. We cannot do anything about it.
So the increment, does it benefit you as a seller?
Of course.
How is that?
Well, we get products under the tank. So before we buy it, maybe 1 Ghana cedi. Now they increase it, maybe we sell it 2 Ghana cedi. That means we benefit 1 cedi.
So you are selling your old products at a new price?
Of course.
You are cheating the customers?
No, we're not cheating, because if they increase, we have some inside. If they reduce it, now we go buy the product at the store. Now, if we buy today, no. If they reduce the price today itself, we have to reduce. What about that? Whether we lost it or we gain. So it be balancing. So if they come like that, it's okay for us.
Okay, thank you very much, Mohammed Senisi. So that is, he works at the Sky filling station here at Circle. Let's now get some more.
Let's now get an understanding of what this increment means to petroleum consumers. And Duncan Amoah is president of the Petroleum Consumers Association. He joins us over the telephone lines now with some thoughts on this. Mr. Amoah, good afternoon. Many thanks for your time. Now, what is your outfit's reaction to the petroleum price increases in the first place?
Indeed, we find it very sad, outrageous, and unreasonable for government to, at this time of the year, when parents will be thinking of paying school fees, when a lot of economic pressures exist with people, to now go ahead to ask for more taxes in petroleum. It is indeed daunting to note that we are not even asking for some 5 or 10% adjustment, such that the system could easily accommodate or absorb. But we are asking for very astronomical increments that is going to see us going some between 22 to 28% increment. That indeed is unreasonable. It is sad, and it is insensitive. We think government has not been fair to the Ghanaian consumer, has not been fair to the average Ghanaian, has not been fair to the commuter anywhere. It is indeed not surprising that you also find GPRTU looking to cash in on a situation as this one. Indeed, we are only being pushed to our wit end, and I'm sure very soon we will be forced to also give a very forceful reaction to government if it does not reconsider this bill in the next 7 days.
So you are speaking of being pushed to the wall and you being forced to head back our government. What exactly do you mean by that? What do you plan on doing about this particular situation?
We have said, and I would probably put on record again, that government today has gone back to Parliament to withdraw the 1% income levy tax, that bill that is sent to Parliament some time ago. We believe that was well thought through because an impact assessment, if done, would naturally tell you that if you are taking a little more from the people, they will come back to the same government to demand for, higher labor wages. Indeed, we are only going to increase the cost of living of Ghanaians. And that I don't think this government has factored into their impact assessment as far as asking the ordinary person to pay a lot more for petroleum in the country. So we have said, if in the next 7 days, government does not go ahead to withdraw this 2015 energy sector levy bill, which is today saying all of us pay a lot more for fuel than we normally should have, then we'll be forced to, in the coming week, meet government on the street and also take some action as far as legal remedies are also concerned to ensure that the Ghanaian is given not something for free, but that which is fair. This is highly unfair, it is unreasonable, and we believe government is not treating the Ghanaian citizen or the consumer any better. The United States is buying petrol today at a rate of $1.20, $1.44, depending on where you're buying it from. It's still under $2. You bring to the city conversion, you are doing about 7 to 8 cedis maximum. The Ghanaian system was doing 12 cedis. We had projected that the fuel cost was going to even come down further because the world market index had now moved from the 40 region to the 30s. As we speak, we are doing $35.90, a barrel, which means that there's been some significant drops even on the world market. If the consumer in Ghana could not get anything from deregulation, we are not expecting government to come back with this sort of, Machiavellian, unreasonable approach towards getting a lot more from all of us. It is indeed sad, and we will give an equal and a commensurate reaction to this that we are being forced to do today.
I see. But as things stand now, consumers are having to pay this particular amount. Will you be seeking to have an input in how much of the cost is passed on to consumers? By this, I'm speaking of the particular meeting GPRTU is having with the Transport Ministry and other stakeholders on how much to pass on to the ordinary consumer who commutes.
You see, where we continue to hold government responsible, you would recall that somewhere in June, when we entered a full price liberalization regime, we had written and said severally that government through the Transport Ministry should sit again with the same transport operators to ensure that we do a +5 -5 system, where if fuel prices was to drop at +5, right, the transport operators could do some +3, for the Ghanaian commuter. If it went to 10, then you could do about 6. If it went to 15, you could do about 9, right? So that you leave them some margin for buying spare parts and other bits. Unfortunately, from June all the way to December ending, the government sat unconcerned. The Ministry of Transport sat unconcerned. Fuel prices moved all the way up from 18 cedis Ghana level to 12 cedis. GPRTU never found its voice, nor found it reasonable enough to give the Ghanaian community something they rightfully deserve. Today, fuel prices have gone up. So quickly, let's come together. Let's go and charge more. You ask yourself, is anybody in government interested in the well-being of the ordinary person on the street? We think government is letting all of us down. And indeed, if it means we should take government on head-on, we would have no option but to do so and do so accordingly. This is really hard. And we think government should come again or withdraw this 2015 levy bill altogether because it is not helping anything. GPRTU should be fair to the Ghanaian commuter. They have never been fair. But you don't blame them because the whole ministry has also gone to bed. You only hear of one scandal than the other. When very important things dear to the very heart of the average Ghanaian is not being taken care of. Today, GPRTU want to increase because government has come back to increase fuel prices. We have said, indeed, market forces was working under price deregulation. Today, it looks government forces is rather at play and is rather determining that people should pay a lot more than they naturally would anywhere in the world.
Okay.
This is sad, this is bad.
Right.
We think it ought to be removed immediately. If not, we will face government on the street within a matter of 1 week from now.
Many thanks for your time on News Today. And that was Duncan Amwa. He's the president of the Petroleum Consumers Association, saying that they have given government a 1-week ultimatum to withdraw this particular levy that has been placed on Ghanaians that has seen fuel prices increase by as much as 27%. He's saying that if government refuses to do that, they are going to hit the streets and protest. We'll bring you much more on this in subsequent bulletins, particularly the very next one that airs at 3 p.m. That's The Pulse. Now, away from that, and the director of Urban Roads, Alhaji Abbas Awolo, is calling for strict sanctions on persons who deliberately damage or destroy road infrastructure. In an interview with Joy News' Amakujo, Mr. Awolo said the time has come for people to be held responsible for reckless acts that end up destroying the quality of the country's road infrastructure. Now, his call comes in the wake of the rising cost of maintaining the country's roads.
We have, together with the support of the Motor Traffic and Transport Division of the Ghana Police Service, been able to apprehend some people, because I've had the opportunity to send out letters to people whose names have been given to us as those who have been culprits, who have actually damaged road infrastructure. And I think that the police have seized their vehicles and until they pay for the repairs. And normally now they pay the repairs to the firm that is responsible for the maintenance. So if you have a firm that is responsible for replacing crash barriers, until the firm goes back to put the crash barrier in place, the police will not even release it. So that means that when you pay, a certain timeline is given for the replacement to be done. But unfortunately, more than 70% or even 80% of the people who hit run away.
Mr. Awolo adds that his outfit has meanwhile intensified measures to improve road safety on the major highways in the country by deploying speed cameras to aid the necessary agencies in dealing with reckless drivers on the country's roads.
We are linking up some of the intersections along the Insawam Road. We also put in cameras there, and they will be specifically for traffic operations. So obviously that particular link, we shall be creating a control center, and the police will have access to that control center. In some countries, once you have the control center, it's a national security operation for all that, and then there's a feed that goes into for the police, for the MTTD in this case, so they can use that to apprehend. There are even suggestions that when you go past, when you jump red, which is a crime as far as our road traffic regulation is concerned, the cameras can easily capture you, and that can. But there are a lot of cameras now, and they're operational.
And that was Alhaji Abbas Awolo of the Urban Roads. You're still watching News Today here on Joy News Multi TV. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you a lot more stories. Many thanks for staying with us here on News Today on your Joy News channel on Multi TV. To some more stories now, and the Electoral Commission has officially communicated to the opposition NPP reasons why it cannot replace the existing voters register for this year's general elections. The NPP and some pressure groups have been leading the call for the replacement of the existing electoral roll due to what they say is its bloated nature, but the EC, in a 33-page document to the largest opposition party in the country, says replacing the current register is not possible. Kwache Afreniama has more.
Well, according to the EC, in examining, and this was one of the key issues that formed the thrust of the MPP's argument in pushing for a review of the register, as you mentioned, the presence of, they say, of more than 76,000 Togolese on the electoral data. The Electoral Commission says that in examining the identity and status of these alleged Togolese nationals on Ghana's voters register, they found that they were all duly registered during the mass registration period in 2012. Again, that the MPP did not provide any proof of the citizenship status of these persons and did not show any proof that they were not entitled to be registered in Ghana. And it goes ahead to say, Chenchehene, that registration on the register of any country under the current laws of Ghana does not take away one's eligibility to be on the register. And another interesting point is that the EC from this document, this 33-page document, says that it was unable to confirm the authenticity of the Togolese register used by the MPP. You remember that at the forum, the Electoral Commission mentioned that they had requested that the MPP brings the copy of the Togolese register that they said that they had acquired. The Electoral Commission say that, well, the authenticity of that document they were not able to independently verify because, again, the EC of Togo, they made a request to them and they refused to give the Electoral Commission of Ghana that document. And the concluding part on that point is that seeking to remove names of persons who appear on the registers of Togo, Burkina Faso, and Cote d'Ivoire in the view of the Electoral Commission would be an arbitrary and discriminatory application of the law. And so they ask, would the Commission therefore be required to obtain all the registers of all countries of the world and remove the names of persons who appear on the register as well as Ghana?
Quite interesting. But the MPP also made mention of the Abu Ramadan case. I mean, the fact that people can't get registered with their national health insurance cards. Did the EC respond to this particular one as well?
Exactly, Chanchahene. They say that in the case of, in the Abu Ramadan case, the Supreme Court ruled that the use of NHI cards in their current form was insufficient as proof of citizenship, and consequently the Electoral Commission was directed to stop accepting that as proof of citizenship for voters registration. But what the AC is saying here is that nowhere in that ruling do the Supreme Court nullify all registration by voters who presented NHI cards as proof of citizenship. Essentially, that law did not take retrospective effect.
But the opposition NPP maintains that decision by the Electoral Commission to maintain the existing electoral roll will not ensure fair and credible elections in the general elections. He spoke to me earlier on News Desk.
It's indeed true that we have received the document we just talked about from the Electoral Commission. That was just on the eve of the new year, and the NPP is reviewing it and will soon make a public position once we are done with that.
The response received from the EC, does it in any way suggest that, well, the battle has been lost? The NPP, there isn't much you can do? There's nothing more you can do about it?
We'll soon put our position across and then we'll know it from there.
Earlier, your party and quite a few others, including Pressure Group led My Vote Count, you've been championing the cause for the replacement of this existing rule, claiming that it's bloated and that if we go ahead and use it for the elections, well, we can be sure that we might not have credible polls. Do you still stand by that, and how much of a problem would this be?
Yes, our position hasn't changed. The reports that have come does not even deal with the issues. But I said, let's wait to see what the NPP decides finally. What has come to us is just a lazy piece of work, okay? Shoddy and bogus. It really doesn't do anything. But let's wait to see what the NPP official position is.
Okay, so the NPP is yet to officially communicate to the Electoral Commission. But earlier you did mention that you see their work as shoddy and that they didn't really address most of your issues. But based on what I have read, they seem to have addressed quite a number of the issues here. If for nothing at all, I have about 3 points here. You raising issues about the removal of names of some Togolese nationals. Well, they seem to say that your particular, should I say, research you did is not credible enough. There's nothing to suggest that indeed these people are Togolese.
Well, you may be privy to what you have read or what you have seen. You are telling me that they appear to have done some work in answering us, but that's in your view. I disagree. I've told you how or what the work they've done looks like, but I will not be drawn into discussing it until the party has officially reviewed and then made a position.
And when does the party hope to do this?
As soon as we are ready, we'll let you know.
Now, the new parliamentary candidate of the National Democratic Congress in the Adentan constituency, Mohammed Ramadan, is set to hand a key campaign role to defeated Member of Parliament Emmanuel Adentan was one of the fiercely contested constituencies during the governing party's primaries last year, but Mr. Ramadan defeated his 3 contenders to emerge winner in the race. Mohammed Ramadan believes he can retain the seat for the ruling NDC and hopes to achieve this by involving the current Member of Parliament for the area, Ni Ashimo.
I am loyal, committed, and hardworking enough to come and work with him at the presidency. Then it should defeat whatever people say that I'm not NDC, I'm MPP or anything. It should defeat it. It came up a lot, but we addressed it, and God being good, people saw reason in what we said.
What do you think your family symbolizes? This diversity, does it symbolize anything?
Tolerance. Tolerance. I think that's how we must live as a society. I mean, sometimes religion is foisted on people. You grow up into a home where your parents are Muslims. You sort of take up that religion. There are people who grow up and change their orientation, want to be Christians. You grow up in a home where your parents are Christians. You grow up and later on want to be a Muslim.
The battle is done, at least the first part of your party's own internal contest. We're moving into 2016. Yabuabia Samoa, a well-known face within the political landscape, was for a long time at the office of the vice president, was aspired for general secretary in the MPP. He lost, but certainly a heavyweight. You're coming head-to-head with him. Does that scare you?
It shouldn't scare me. I mean, I think people didn't give me a dog's chance. People thought, Ramadan as a newcomer, he had just come in. I mean, can he unseat Ashimo? Ashimo is too formidable. He's too strong. These are the same things I'm hearing about Yabua being. The same work that I put in for the primaries, I'll probably double it up now. And I want to show my people that it would amaze people the result I would make in the general elections. It would amaze people.
You say you double out your efforts and the results therein. That gives me a clear impression that you think that you are certainly going to defeat the MPP's candidate in Adenta, hands down.
I'm very confident I would come out victorious with the help of God. I'm very confident about that, and I know hard work ultimately pays, and I'll put in a lot of effort.
You're going to campaign on the record of the incumbent, right, Ashimo?
I'm going to campaign on the record of the President, His Excellency.
And his representative in that constituency?
I mean, yes, to a large extent, but the thrust... Yeah, I mean, but the thrust would be on the record of the President.
Okay. To a large extent, you're going to campaign on Ashimo's record. This is a man that you sought to replace. What has he done for the people of Adenta, which you're going to, campaign on?
I'm going to campaign on the record of His Excellency the President.
Which record? In the constituency?
For the President. I mean, we're running a general elections. I'm aiming to work hard to ensure His Excellency the President gets nominated. So the thrust of my message should be things I know he has done and what he can do. And then at that point, I'll begin to talk about what I can do for the constituency. So really what somebody has done or what he hasn't done is past now. And it's about what I can do and what the President would continue to do for the people.
Would you say that the NDC has achieved a lot in the Adenta constituency over the past 4 years?
I mean, one major headache that I know the people of Adenta really have been going through has been this issue of lack of water. Now there's water. Government is pumping 40 million barrels a day across the country. So I mean, to a large extent, some of their challenges are being met. So there's progress. We're doing something on the ground. There's progress.
Some of their challenges are being met. I'm sure they still have challenges. What do you intend doing to alleviate some of these issues that they certainly have, they may have?
I mean, there'll always be challenges everywhere. I mean, even in the most advanced countries, they have their own set of challenges. But it all depends on one's style of leadership. Once you identify what their problems are, you would know how to go about it. And I think that one thing that works for me is my ability to lobby well, to communicate well, and then it should be easy for me to get some of these things sorted out for them, I believe.
Interesting. Your ability to lobby well, that's going to be your main trump card if you are elected. That's going to be your main strength.
I mean, to the extent that
Is it because, well, you're close, you've been working here, for the presidency, so you have the contact?
To the extent that a lot of these developments are not going to be done from my pocket, and it's going to be done from state resources, from government's budget. I should be able to know how to push for things to get to my constituency, and it depends on relationships and lobbying skills. I mean,
you're watching News Today here on Joy News Multi TV. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you business. So it's time now for sports, and here's Benedict also with the very latest. Hi, Benedict.
Hi, Chenchen. Happy New Year. First time seeing you in a year.
To you too. Yeah, really.
And what a way you guys have started. Your team, Manchester United, over the weekend, at least you ended your winless run.
Well,
8 games, you have not won any game.
But you saw the goal. You saw Rooney's goal.
Oh, I beg
you. You saw the goal.
He's played 10 games without a goal.
Don't worry.
But at least
it's about the quality of the goal.
You know, he's got 188 goals, just second to Alan Shearer. That's all-time top scorer in the English Premier League.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to commend Rooney for that. Yeah. We really have to do. But we'll talk more about Manchester United. But first, we have to deal with some local matters. And the delayed start of the league has been a big problem for the Ghana Football Association. But it seems that it's not the only problem the GFA is dealing with. Now, they're also looking for a new sponsor for the league following last year's sponsor, Capital Bank's quest to suspend their deal. Now, Nyantichi explains, as the FA president explains, they still have a contract with the bank, but the FA is looking for other companies and individuals to partner the Ghana Premier League.
Whether Capital Bank is a sponsor today or not, the FA still has the right to look for additional sponsors. The only category of sponsor that you can bring on board is another bank. But you can bring an insurance company, you can bring an airline, you can bring a motor company, you can bring a radio station or whatever, who wants to sponsor. Now, if Capital Bank leaves the scene, then it opens the chance for a bank to also come on board as an additional sponsor. But as we speak, we have only Capital Bank, who is on the verge of leaving us. And we are talking to them. If it doesn't work, we will have to resort to remedies under the contract.
What reasons did
and then
for their decision to suspend?
Restructuring. The bank is undergoing restructuring. And one of the symptoms of it, or what we can see right now, is that the name has even changed from First Capital Plus Bank to Capital Bank. And the other details of the restructuring are best known to them. I can't go into that.
So that was GFA President Kwesi Nyantichi there. Now, the 4th nationwide implementation of the FIFA 11 for Health project, which was launched in Ghana by Samuel Eto'o and Prof. Duroc, is starting today in Accra and Sunyani and its environs. Now, from today till Friday, January 8th, 180 physical education teachers will be trained in Accra and Sunyani. Well, Dr. Prince Pambo, the national project leader, has joined me on the line for more on this project. Dr. Pambo, good afternoon to you and thanks so much for joining me. What else do we have to know about this project?
Thank you very much, and Happy New Year to all your listeners, Benedict. So, yes, as you rightly mentioned, 11 for Health has been running in this country for some time now. Samuel Eto'o and Professor Yeji Vrojak were in Ghana to launch the 4th implementation nationwide. So currently we are in Accra and Sunyani doing training 180 teachers. Next week we are going to Wa and Bogatanga and their environs to train another 180 teachers, bringing the total number to 360. After that, these teachers will go back to the various schools where we picked them from. That's a total of 360 junior high schools to go and train the kids aged from 11 to 13 years. Remember, this is a football-based health education program. So we're using the popularity and the passion kids have for football to pass on key health messages to them. So basically, this is the stage we find ourselves. And I mean, I mentioned earlier, it's a collaboration between FIFA, Ghana Football Association, Ministry of Education, Health and Sport. So this is where we have got into so far.
Okay, and I'm sure it's underway. How is it going?
It's going very well. This morning we just opened activities to start on Wednesday in the morning at 8:30 a.m. The Vice President of Ghana Football Association and the Technical Director, Coach Otia Kenten and Mr. George Friye will be at the Stadium Media Center to kind of do an opening ceremony, a short one. But then the projects have started and the teachers, as I speak to you, are on the field, and then everything is going on well. So Wednesday there will be a short opening, and the media is invited to witness this. Hello.
Program every year. It's repeated in the
Be with you guys.
So time now for some entertainment. Gladys Radio of Entertainment Desk joins me now in studio with a lot more intriguing stories. Yes, I was smiling before coming on air. It's because of what she told me earlier. But yeah, Gladys.
Of course, it's nice to hear sweet things said to you afternoon time, right?
Yeah, quite surprised in some of the things. But anyway, yeah, it happens. It's part of life. So I'm guessing there's a lot of entertainment stories. But over the weekend, I know there was this issue about a match the day involved in an accident.
Yes.
Do you know how he's faring now?
Yes. So update is that he is responding very well to treatment, and that he's told us no that his manager actually is dead.
Wow.
And doctors have had to manage that reality because according to the hospital he had to respond very well to treatment first because of his age and what could come out of the shock. And so they have been very careful how they release the news to him. Yes, so the update is that he's very well, he's responding well to treatment, and he's likely to be discharged today.
Oh, today?
Yes, if the doctors are very happy with how his response is like so far.
Interesting.
Yes. But meanwhile, his manager, Isaac Yeboah, is being transported into Accra from the Bonsu Junction where the accident occurred. We have a piece that tells us more about who Isaac Yeboah is.
Fraternity in Ghana has been mourning the tragic passing of Isaac Yeboah, manager of High Life legend Machi Dede, who was killed in an accident. Kojo Entry, a High Life legend who also owns Breeze FM, told Joy News Saturday Isaac Yeboah, the editor of the PMP Entertainment newspaper, was a permanent panelist on one of the station's programs. The deceased is also a panelist on the Entertainment Review on Peace FM and Doubles as an ardent contributor to issues pertaining the entertainment industry. Isaac Yeboah, Machi Dede and his bodyguard were involved in an accident at Bonsu Junction in the Eastern region on New Year's Day. Isaac unfortunately didn't survive. His remains will be conveyed from the Eastern region to Accra Monday, January 4. Keep watching the space for more updates on this story.
May his soul rest in perfect peace. Let's now look at theatre. So Baden playwright and director Oswald and Walker have put together a play entitled The Madman and the Drunkards. This, according to them, is their way of also contributing to the growth of theatre in Ghana.
A lot of things go on. I mean, people don't do the writing. We have leaders who don't do the writing, and we have we ourselves, we the citizens, we don't do the writing. So we criticize the leaders all the time, yet we don't do the writing ourselves.
Madman, who here represents the madman?
A professor, a professor, a university professor, Professor Adam Wune, who's a university professor, trying to advise the citizens. Like they should criticize constructively. They shouldn't just criticize politicians just because they are criticizing them or just because they don't like them.
Okay.
Understand? So madman. So the way he behaves in the play, everybody around him thinks he's mad.
Okay.
While he thinks the others are drunkards because they don't understand
Okay,
him.
so that's madman and the drunkard.
Madman and the drunkard.
I see. So Oswald, you are directing, you are kind of interpreting what he has pieced together in terms of script. How is the experience? What are we looking forward to?
I did. Besides my original plays, last year I tried Dr. Gamile's The Madman of Bolga.
Okay.
And this time, it gives you a different feel of how the play should be like, the play world.
It actually gives you a different feel of the different madmen you have to work with.
Madman
of Bolga and Madman
the Madman of Bolga, with that one, it was set in the particular context and just talking about politicians and how they go about this. And that's how Dr. Gamla wanted to talk about the madness in there. Okay. But this is a broader perspective. You're going to have the whole society. It always reminds me, during the days I was having my national service at 37, I worked with a chief psychiatrist. He told me that every man has some level of madness.
Well, so that is the young budding playwright and director who are hoping to also add their bit to grow the theatre industry in Ghana. But before I go, Kwabena, I have a gossip.
No, but I think I have something to say about that.
Okay,
I really want to watch that particular play, The Madman and the Drunkards.
Yes. It's actually depicting relevant moments in society, how the politicians look at the ordinary Ghanaians in the eyes of a professor who is seen by the people as the madman, and he also sees the people as drunkards because they don't understand each other. Yeah, that's just what the story is about.
An interesting storyline, but
snippets of real life put together.
We'll try. I don't know, but when it's just about showing, maybe you should tell
It's
me.
on the night. It's showing on the night at the Arts Center, 6 p.m. So you can always make a date.
And then I'll try as much as
that would be your contribution towards what they are also doing. But before I leave you, I have a gossip. When was the last time you saw Confidence Hogan, CEO of Aphrodisiac Nightclub?
I haven't met her in a while. I don't know.
You haven't?
I haven't met her in a while.
Okay, so have you imagined her pregnant? You've seen her pregnant?
Wait.
Okay, so there you go. Let's see Confidence and her, Peggy Bam, and there you have her. So
wait.
That is Confidence Hogan. Yes.
Is that Confidence Hogan?
That is Confidence.
Is she pregnant?
What do you see?
I don't know. She looks...
Are you now convinced it is her? Well, that is Confidence. She looks prettier though. Pregnancy hasn't really changed her much.
No. But is she really pregnant? How old is she?
How old is she? I think she's in her 40s. But what has age got to do with her pregnancy?
No, I'm just asking.
You're wondering if she's like a modern day Sarah? Then we've got to be asking questions. Where is Abraham? Where is Abraham? Maybe I should go and look for Abraham and come tell you about Abraham tomorrow. Yeah.
Adam Abraham.
Either Adam Abraham or Abraham Adam or somebody Abraham. There is an Abraham to this modern day Sarah.
Anyway, but I just hope it's a Photoshop video anyway. But
well, keep your hopes.
Okay, anyway, so that's Gladys Osero. So now you see why I was laughing before coming on there. But entertainment on News Today was proudly brought to you by Airtel.
Entertainment news was brought.
And that's how we wrap up on News Today here on your Joy News channel on Multi TV. My name is Kwabena Chenchen Hineboating. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. Enjoy the rest of our broadcasts.